Blog Talk Radio.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire
LCS Hockey. Section 7, I love it! Really? And we're off. It is the show that even alcohol doesn't make better. It's the LCS Hockey Radio Show. Brought to you as always by Honest John Churchfield and by the #1 non-updated hockey site in all the land, LCSHockey.com. LCS, the liver and onions of fake radio. All right, here we go. You ready, Mike, though?
Sure.
After grossing over $380 million with 2007's Live Free or Die Hard, Bruce Willis has told reporters that there are plans to go ahead with a 5th installment in the series sometime next year. No details on the script yet, but the working title is Die Hard of Old Age. Huh. Die Hard
Of Old Age.
Yeah. All right. Kristen Bell has decided to keep her upcoming wedding private and has refused to sell pictures from it to the tabloids. She says, quote, "We keep a low profile. We're all the more private because people are interested, and we really don't think that they should be." She then went on to say, "Besides, I don't want people to know I'm marrying that dude from Punk'd." Punk'd.
I don't know what that means.
She's marrying that Dax Shepard guy.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she is way out of that dude's league.
But didn't we establish in an earlier
Yes.
episode of the LCS Hockey Radio Show that she's a Detroit Red Wings fan and in particular a fan of Chris Osgood?
Yeah. It really hurts because she's smoking hot, though.
Yeah, she apparently isn't that bright, though. So.
That's a real kick in the nards. That's all I got to say. All right, Mike Dell, here we go. Ric Flair's wife of 3 months, Jacqueline Beams, was arrested Monday night after police report that Beams assaulted the former wrestler and was arrested. A rep for Flair says Rick and his wife had an unfortunate disagreement late last night, which led to his wife being arrested and charged with assault. Police won't release details, but rumor has it that she slapped him in the chest with an open palm, then threw him into a turnbuckle, where Flair did a somersault, took 3 steps forward, and fell flat on his face. No word on whether Flair bladed himself.
See, when you started that joke, right away in my head, I'm writing my own little joke there. I'm like, well, he's got to say something about chopping him in the chest, throwing him into the turnbuckle. But see, here's where you went wrong, I think.
Okay.
He should have flipped over the turnbuckle, landed on the apron of the ring, ran down the ropes, and then got clotheslined. Remember how he did that too?
Yeah.
But I like the taking 3 steps forward and falling on his face. That was good, yeah.
Yeah, because he was always famous for that one, too.
Yeah, I've never really seen anyone do that, the whole head first in the turnbuckle, flip over, run down the apron, get clothesline thing. But Ric Flair all the time. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they would switch it up. Sometimes he wouldn't get clotheslined. He would, like, jump to the top rope, and then somebody would, like, throw him back into the ring again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But best wrestler of all time, Ric Flair? Obvious? Is it obvious?
I don't know, man.
Right.
Ever? Like, you talking just wrestling?
Everything.
Like the whole
package.
total
On
package.
the mic, in the ring.
Oh, it's got to be The Rock, man. Come on.
Oh, come on, no.
Flair's right there, though. Flair on the mic was good, too. But The Rock, I love that guy. He was so good on the microphone. And he was good in the ring, too, though.
But did The Rock have a sequenced robe with sparkles? Did he go, woo? Come on.
Well, no, because then he would have been just copying Ric Flair.
Yes, that's right. Ric Flair's the best. All right, go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry. I disrupted
All right.
monologue.
Well, that's about it. So anyways, we're going to talk some hockey tonight for a change. Yada, yada, yada. We'll get Dell's take. Ned's going to be here tonight. He's going to be auditioning for a job. Huh? And he's going to help us sort out the demented 30-team fantasy baseball league we're all in. And in the second hour, due to popular demand, show favorite Pat Picciarelli will be here, and we'll be discussing the best TV cop shows and movies and that sort of thing. And I got to preface it right now, Mike. Though Sipowicz better be at the top.
Ooh, I hope someone's not disappointed.
Oh, well, I know your list has gay-ass Columbo up there. This one-ass lazy eye and shit moving nowhere. All right, so all that and not much more, so let's get it over with. Joining me, as always, is the editor-in-chief at LCS Hockey The Attack Site and a man that's trying to bring the whale to national glory. It's the very busy Mike Dell.
Jerry Farish. Hey, we should mention that we're recording this podcast while Canada and Russia, they're playing live right now. It's 7-3 after 2 periods. It's tremendous. And you're eating again. What are you eating?
I am not eating.
You're eating something.
I'm not. I am not eating. I gotta tell you, Mike Dell, I'm very disappointed with this Canada-Russia game.
Is it white chocolate? Like the sass? I'm gonna guess. I want to guess what you're eating. All right?
I'm not eating.
It sounds like some sort of cheese product, like a cheese puff or a cheese curl.
That is a very good guess.
How about a Cheeto? Is that what it is?
I'm eating Cheetos, yes. Cheetos,
yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
But it's not just regular Cheetos, it's the cheese puff Cheetos.
Ah, see, how about that?
You know, the big elbowy, puffy, little crunchy-ass things? I gotta tell you, they're good.
Well, can you try and not chew directly into the microphone while we're trying to do the fake radio show?
I got the headset on, Mike Dell. The microphone is right in front of my mouth.
Well, how about a mute button? Do you have a mute button on the old headset?
Well, yeah, I usually do that when you start rambling on.
All right, fair enough. But hey, before we get into the hockey, how about the theme song at the top of the show, Dimension 7? That's what I wanted to play last week on my birthday because Nirvana, it's a Nirvana song. They're doing a cover of a band called the Wipers. It's an old Wipers song.
The Wipers they're great.
But that's Nirvana doing that song. And what'd you think, Larry?
Not so much.
See, at the beginning of it, it starts out real slow. He's just talking and talking, real slow. And then we just hear the transition at the top here. We get the fast beat. I thought you would enjoy it because of the drums, because of the Dave Grohl on the drums there. And you love the...
well, where does is it at the end of the song that the shotgun blast comes in, or is that in the middle?
The show is over. Yeah, so Dimension 7, Nirvana. All right, anyway, back to the Olympics. Yeah, Canada versus Russia. I'm loving it because I hate that filthy Ovechkin.
Yeah.
It's always fun watching him lose. I can't get enough of watching Ovechkin lose in big games. Game 7s, he always seems to lose. Here, it's kind of like a Game 7, so he's losing again. It's awesome.
See, I don't feel the same way about Ovechkin that you do. I like Ovechkin.
I want to punch him in the jeans.
Yeah, well, he would mess you up, Mike Dell. He would mess you up hard. That's all I got to say. But
you know one thing I can do that he can't? Back check. Hey, Ovechkin, how about back checking a little bit? That'd help your team out. He's awful.
You know one thing he can do that you can't? He can digest a hamburger. He really can.
But there's one perfect play. If you want to know what's wrong with Ovechkin and Team Russia in general, once again, it's the speed of the leader that determines the rate of the pack, right, Larry? Yeah, I always tell you that. And they're looking at Ovechkin to lead the way. Same in Washington. They look to him to lead the way. In Team Russia, they look to Ovechkin. Earlier in the first period there's a play where he really takes a run at Marleau in the neutral zone. Beautiful check. Crushes him in the boards. Ovechkin falls to his knees a little bit after the hit. But he pops back up. And watch what he does if they show the replay later. He just coasts the rest of the way into the zone. He doesn't back check hard. He lets Marleau go. Marleau gets the puck, and if Marleau had any intestinal fortitude whatsoever, there's a clean lane to the net. But of course he's Patrick Marleau, so he likes to play on the outside. and he just ignores the lane of the net and takes a weak little shot down low that Nabokov saves. But just watch Ovechkin on that replay. He's not driving, not putting his head down and skating with Marlowe. He's just coasting in, watching the play develop. And that's what's wrong with Ovechkin. That's what's wrong with Team Russia. And that's what's wrong with the Washington Capitals. And that's why they're never going to win anything. And just Olchek mentioned it there at the end of the period, but they just refuse to get the puck deep. Just chip it in and work. They always try to make the play. Same with the Capitals. And look, they showed Ovechkin just lollygagging out there at the blue line, looking for the pass instead of coming deep into his own zone. It's just bad hockey, and that's why he's Ovechkin. I don't know.
But you just said it's a great game.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about him, how he's playing against Canada. Now they're playing great hockey.
Yeah, they look deadly. They look deadly tonight.
Two guys we got to mention here: Shea Weber. Holy hell!
Yeah,
he can shoot a puck. He's one of my favorite guys, but he plays in Nashville, so no one even knows who he is. But yeah, Shea Weber's tremendous. And I know, Larry, we were talking earlier, you didn't see it, but yesterday in the game against Germany, he put it right through the net.
Yeah, that's what I heard you saying.
Yeah, he just piped it top left corner, bang, right through the net. And it was awesome. Yeah.
You know who else does that? Fulton Reed from the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah,
movie?
see, I don't get that reference.
Yeah, you got to see the Mighty Ducks.
But then tonight he launches another howitzer there off the right wing and puts it down low on the Nabokov. I think it made it 6-2, I believe, or 6-1. I don't know, but he blew the game open with that one. And then also Ryan Getzlaf. He's made two the exact same passes tonight, and they're just spectacular. Where he kind of pulls the puck into his skates and then slides it low through a defenseman. It was just special to watch. Then he made a nifty little drop pass there in the second. It didn't result in anything. But there have just been some spectacular passing plays. Getzlaf to somebody, back to Niedermeyer to Nash in the first period that got stopped. Then in the second, here he goes again.
That is not me.
But then Getzlaf to Stahl, back to Corey Perry for the tap, and that was a beautiful goal. Yeah, Canada, they're flying on all cylinders.
Yeah, they look good, and they should have pulled Nabokov a lot earlier, huh?
Yeah, once again, he got a tip of the hat to the old Eddie Olchek.
He said
after that, I know, I don't like him either, but after that Morrow goal, Brendan Morrow just walked out and stuffed one in net off of Nabokov's feet there, and he should have been yanked after that goal. And that made it 4-1, and it got to 6-1, right? And then they made it 6-2.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, what's worse? Is it worse listening to Edzo and Emmerich to the play-by-play, or is it worse going in between periods with Milbury and Roenick?
Oh, Roenick's terrible.
Oh, my God. He looks
here's Jeremy Roenick. Here's what I love about Jeremy Roenick. He does this little thing with Ovechkin before the show where they spent 30 minutes together, he said, and it was nice. Ovechkin gave a nice little relaxed interview and whatnot. And Ovechkin says, he thinks he's the best player in the league, and Roenick says, yeah, I think you're the best player, too. I love you. And then Roenick kissed him on the mouth, and that was a little uncalled for, I thought. But then, so they come back, nothing but praise for Ovechkin, praising Ovechkin. And then Roenick, between periods, after it's 4-1, Canada, he goes, yeah, when I was talking to Ovechkin, I sensed that he didn't want to play Canada. I asked him, and he said he felt fine about it, but I could sense that he was nervous. Well, how about mentioning that before the game, JR? And if Washington or Russia was up 4-1 there, do you think he'd really be bringing that up? No. He's only so that's why he's a clown.
I've never really liked Roenick. I only liked him on NHL 94, and that's about it.
Well, you want to talk about guys who never did little things to win. That's Jeremy Roenick, JR Superstar, But what can you do?
Well, he likes to drink.
Yeah, he loves to talk and run his mouth and throw big hits and score goals, but he won't do the little things, and that's fine. That's why he's JR Superstar.
I'm drinking right now, Mike, though.
Yeah, tremendous.
Yeah.
Because what goes better with Cheetos than a Labatt's, right?
Nothing.
Is that what you're having, Labatt's?
Mm-hmm. As always.
So it's still your friend after last week where you drank 10 in 2 hours?
It's even a better friend now.
Yeah, that's good. So Larry, how much of the Olympic hockey have you been watching?
I've been watching a good bit. I missed a game here or there, but I watched the U.S. today, 2-0 win over the Switzerland, and
much tougher game than they thought, just because Hiller stood on his head.
Yeah, he looked good today, and I've just been watching the hockey and the curling, and that's about my whole Olympic experience.
Yeah, curling is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, do you prefer the
women
broad curling or the dude curling? Yeah, you like
the broads.
Yeah, obviously the broads. But there's a distinct difference between the two.
Yeah, I don't get into into the guys curling as much. I don't know why.
Yeah, I never watched the guy curling until just like the other day. I like the Canadian team because they got that dude who's bald and he looks like he's 80 years old, but he's really cool, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, the dude curling, they just throw it really hard, you know.
Right.
Like when the stones hit, they just go flying. Where the broad curling, they hit and they kind of just bump each other and go like 2 inches. You know?
It's a friendly.
Yeah, it's entertaining as all hell, though. I love it.
I know what I love. I love the Nicole Jorastad, or I don't even know how you pronounce her last name, but she's a curler for the U.S. Ooh, daddy likey. That's all I can say.
I don't think I've seen Team USA. I've seen...
how do you not see? They're on all the time.
I've seen Team China, Team Denmark twice, I think. Japan. I've seen all sorts of teams, but
what about Canada?
Yeah, Canada. I've seen the Canadian team a couple of times.
Oh, you got to see. Well, I think Team USA's done, but oh yeah, Nicole Jorastad, nice.
I've heard some good things about the Russian curling team as well. If you know.
See, I don't know if I've seen the Russians.
Yeah, neither have
I. I like a Russian.
Yeah,
I like me a Russian.
But, yeah, curling in the Olympic hockey. Yeah. Now, who was playing last night? I was telling you about. Oh, Latvia and the Czech Republic, and that was a great game too because it looked like the Czechs were going to steamroll them, and Latvia just hung in there, and they made it real tight at the end. And it looked like Yager got hurt. He left the game there in the second. I haven't heard what's wrong with him because I'm very busy. But what else? Who plays next tonight, Larry? Slovakia and Sweden, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think so.
That won't be
a better game than a lot of people think. Slovakia is an underrated, good little team, but Sweden should take it. And,
you got a prediction on that game?
Yeah, I'll take Sweden, like 3-1, and then if Canada wins, they'll have to play Sweden next, and that'll be a. See, that's the trouble with Canada. People overreacted so much to them losing to the U.S. It meant nothing, you know.
Yeah, it really did. It's like spring training.
It just means they have to beat, Russia and Sweden just to get to the gold medal game. So that's trouble. But you're going to have to go through those teams anyway, you know. So what is it? Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're the best team, you're the best team. It doesn't matter when you play them. So just play them, make a statement, and beat everybody. And someone for the Canadian team's down.
I can't tell who it is. He's maimed though.
I think
21.
It's Eric Stahl. Is that Stahl wearing 21?
I thought he was wearing 11.
Yeah, I don't know. You got me there.
Hey, I think the Ed's here. Do you want to talk to the Ed?
Yeah, because this is a hockey show, and we've talked hockey for almost 15 minutes, I think. So
that's plenty.
Yeah, I think that makes the quota.
And then she told me that she really wanted to love me. And then she said it wasn't time to go. And she said that she was nothing but a baby.
The Ed!
And she said it doesn't have to go. I said it, girl, don't you give me your money. 'Cause I only need $4.50.
The Ed!
Hello?
Hey, what's up, the Ed?
Hey, man, I was just listening to your show, man. To your show.
Yeah, you love hockey. Your buddy Ovechkin, he's getting whooped.
Yeah, it's all right. This Canada got beat up by USA.
Barely.
USA. You know, man, did you see that one guy made the best hockey move ever? He dove and dove like 50 feet, threw his stick around his back, underneath this kid's legs, and went through two other people and into the goal.
Yeah, Ryan Kessler. That was one of the best empty net goals I've ever seen. The best empty net goal of all time, though, Larry. You know what it is, right? I've mentioned it before.
No.
Steve Yzerman against the Edmonton Oilers. He was one-on-one, Steve Smith between him and the open net. Yzerman was in neutral zone. He just rainbowed it over his head. It was awesome.
Hey, the Red Wings just called.
But the Ed, so what's going on?
Oh, nothing. Just sitting here looking at Texas play Oklahoma State right now. Basketball. Hey, what are you doing to your phone?
I didn't do anything to my phone.
Somebody popping something in my ear like goddamn popcorn.
Well, here, I think that's Larry eating Cheetos.
Oh. I don't like Cheetos.
Oh.
Why not?
They get my fingers all orangey, and I don't like that.
Well, I got a couple paper towels with me while I eat them.
Yeah, that's good thinking, Larry. That's planning ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, the Ed, what is your favorite snack food if you don't like the Cheetos? Do you like the potato chips?
He likes candy.
Yeah, I know he likes candy, but
potato
chips?
Yeah, I like potato chips. You know what I do with potato chips? I get like some plain Lay's potato chips. and I put a whole bunch of mustard on the plate and dip them in mustard and eat them.
Hey, that's not bad.
Who can't?
How about the Pringles, the Ed? Do you like Pringles?
Yeah, I like Pringles too, because what I do is I'll take 2 Pringles and flip them around and make like duck lips and walk around.
I've done that.
Yeah, everyone does that.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I do that and the baby looks at me and he try to do it and he can't do it because he keep crushing them with his lips and then he want 2 more and by the time I look, man, the whole floor is full of Pringles, man.
Yeah.
And then we got to have a lady who clean the house. She got to, the lady cook my food. She clean the house too. And I said, hey, get the vacuum. That's your job.
Yeah.
She gets mad.
How about pretzels?
Me as a baby.
Do you like pretzels?
Huh?
Do you like pretzels?
Nah, I don't like them pretzels, man.
Corn chips, tortilla chips.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Yeah. Well, you had like Seinfeld though, which is odd, but yeah.
Why do I like Seinfeld?
Well, you mentioned it more than once, you know. But that line is from Seinfeld. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
No, that's my line.
No, it's from Seinfeld.
That's Kramer's line.
Just like they stole my one thing, stopping short.
Yeah.
That's my move.
That's your move, stopping short. Yeah. You hit the brakes real hard to stop short, and then you have to put your arm in front of the lady next to you. Yeah, that's your move, huh?
Get you a free squeeze.
Good to know.
You didn't do that?
No, I don't do that.
Hey, Mike Dell.
Hey, listen.
Yeah. Hold on, Ed. I think Larry needs to say something. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, before the Ed goes off on a tangent here, Face Ventura wants to know if you guys are going to finish the big NHL 94 series tonight.
Yes. After the show, we'll do it. But thanks for interrupting the Ed, Larry, for that.
You're welcome. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
We're supposed to talk about me. We're supposed to talk about my adventure tomorrow. Well, you guys know that I'm not bowling no more, right?
Yeah, I did read that. The Ed got kicked off his bowling team. Are you going to talk about that on your show tomorrow night, the Ed show, Thursday nights at 10? Are we going to, Eastern time? 10 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah, I'm done talking about it.
All right.
Ed, what are they going to do without your 44 pins every game?
And that's their loss. I mean, these kids, they talking about, oh, you was no call, no show twice. I said, this ain't no goddamn job.
Yeah, for those who remember, the Ed was on a bowling team with 2 guys named Robert and Henry, and your team was called what? They had the Flamethrowers, is that right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Flamers, yeah.
Yeah, and the Ed was kind of, I would say, what, Larry, the weak link on that team, maybe?
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, his last week he went there. What'd you do, the Ed? I think 3 games combined, you had like, what, 130, 140 maybe total? Not so good.
I did my part, just because those guys couldn't handle it, man. I'm sick of that junk.
No, you really didn't do your part, because like Robert would get like 210, Henry would always be like around 180, and then you check in with a 60 or 70. And then you guys would lose. So, they told you your services are no longer required, is that right?
Yeah, they signed up some other kid, man, to finish out the year. I was like, you know what? I don't care. It don't matter.
How old is he? 6, 7?
Yeah.
Huh?
How old is he? 6 or 7?
Who?
I heard Robert just got his niece to bowl with them. Is that what happened yet?
He got bad knees, yeah.
No, his little niece, a little girl's bowling. It took your place.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see the fella who took over.
Yeah, but let's review the Ed. Let's review your recent athletic career. When you first started calling our show, which is almost like what, year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, you were playing in a dodgeball league at the time. You remember that?
Yeah, I got hurt.
Yeah, that's right. You got hurt and you had to quit. You hurt your back and your neck and your neck and your back, so you had to quit the dodgeball. Then I think last spring, or 2 springs ago, I don't know, you were in a baseball team, an adult baseball league there, and after about 2 games, I think, do you remember what he hit, Larry? Because he had a little baseball card. He had his own baseball card. I think he was 1 for 8, maybe?
I had like a 32-game hitting streak, I think.
No, because I think you only ended up playing 2 games, and then they told you to just,
I drove in a run my first at-bat.
Because you got hit by a pitch. The bases were loaded, and you got hit by a pitch. And that's
an RBI right there, baby.
Yeah.
But I'm saying.
after like 2 games, they asked you not to come back, and they gave you your money back, and they gave you your buddy Franklin's money back because he broke his ankle playing. But then you...
Yeah, he got hurt coming out of base.
That's right. He broke his ankle, and you thought it was hilarious. But then they also gave you Franklin's money back when they gave you your money back. And what did you do with that money? Tell the people what you did.
I'll probably spin it.
That's right. You kept it. You didn't give it to Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't deserve it. He didn't try to get his money back.
Well, he didn't know he was eligible to get his money back.
Hey, man, finders keepers, losers weepers. That's what I'm saying.
I guess. All right, so that's the baseball league. And now the bowling team, you get kicked off a bowling team. So I'm seeing a pattern developing. Either you may be too old to be competing in these sports now, because you are a man of 56 years old. I'm sorry, 54. You're aging backwards, like Benjamin Button. Either you're too old, or you're just, frankly, not good enough. How do you say? How do you respond to that, Tia?
I mean, I'm always good enough. Sometimes other things happen, and I can't just finish everything that I start.
What about like some mahjong or something like that? Something more your speed. Bridge.
Dominoes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about joining a crossword puzzle league.
There you
Once
go.
again, no. See, I know you just graduated with a degree in human language, but just between the two of us, Dad, I got to tell you, I don't think you're a very good speller. And that's kind of important in crossword puzzles to be able to spell.
That's Sudoku.
Okay, Sudoku. Yeah, whatever.
I can do that. I can put them numbers in all them spots. It ain't no problem.
Well, yeah, it's not, but you have to put...
All you got to do is put 1 through 9 in every square.
No,
I mean, how hard is... Man, I'd be seeing people doing them puzzles, be taking them like 45 minutes an hour. I could do one in like 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, you just can't put any numbers. They have to be specific numbers in specific squares.
Yeah, 1 through 9. Yeah, 1 through 9.
All right. Well, good luck with that crossword puzzle.
You just got to put them right there. Baseball, they're going to have baseball tryouts again this year. I'm thinking about going back. Try that one more time.
I thought you were going to play for the Rockies.
Franklin's scared.
Well, you don't need Franklin.
Yeah, I do, because he's my catcher.
That's right. The Ed told us a couple weeks ago that he has a secret super deluxe pitch that it just appears in the glove.
We're supposed to go to spring training in another week.
Yeah.
Supposed to go down to Scottsdale. I'll probably walk down and knock on Dick Banks' door.
Oh, I'm sure he'd appreciate that, your buddy Dick Banks. But not only was the Ed's pitch unhittable, but he threw it so effortlessly that he said he could pitch every day, and he predicted that he would go 162-0 for the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, but I mean, they haven't even called me.
Yeah, I don't. How could they, refuse 162-0, perfect pitcher? I'm sure they'll be calling soon, because.
If they want to win every game, they got to.
Yeah. Ed, do you think there'll ever be another 30-game winner?
I just told you I'm gonna win 162. So I mean,
it's not. Well, you go without saying, but how about just like anybody else, like a Johan Santana, anybody? You think there'll ever be another 30-game winner in the majors?
You know what? Not the way now that it is, because when baseball has turned a corner that has messed up, and they say they act like these kids can't do the work. But one of these times, we need to have another strike. Then when a strike comes, then baseball will turn back around again, and they can probably go back to the olden times, man. But there's no reason to have a 4-man rotation. I mean, a 5-man rotation. You should have 4-man rotation. And Jesus Christ, man, these dudes can't. What happened to arms? What did God tell? When God kept making babies, did He stop making strong arms?
Apparently. All this pitch count, it's just all nonsense, right, Leon? Pitch count nonsense, right?
Yeah. Man, I don't care about no goddamn pitch count.
Yeah, so everyone says how the athletes are so much better today than they were in the old days.
They're not. These kids is baby-fied, man.
That's
they don't work out. Look, they might work out like lifting weights, but they don't have the mentalness and the toughness that it takes to be like a star.
Yeah.
You need that mentalness.
Yeah, you can't succeed without mentalness, Larry. You just can't.
Yeah, I don't have it.
We're gonna talk tomorrow on my show about my trip to the swap meet.
Okay, yeah, that's a good thing. The Ed has been hanging out at a swap meet, so we'll talk about that tomorrow on the Ed Show, and also a little later the Ed.
I'm gonna go again to the swap meet tomorrow.
Oh.
So I tell you everything I see that I've seen a lot of good stuff there.
Are they guys?
It's a swap meet. It's like a flea market, Larry.
Oh.
You're thinking.
One time I went to a friend's house and his mother served track meat for dinner.
Yeah, see, I don't think that's true. But hey, yeah, a little later we're going to be talking about our fantasy baseball league we got going, and also tomorrow on your show you're going to announce the winners of your fantasy baseball scholarship fund.
Yeah, we got baseball fantasy scholarships, and that means that you don't have to pay because you're probably poor.
Oh, that's a baby.
Because you're probably too poor to pay the $50 to enter the league, and I'm like, come on, man. I'm getting tired of this stuff, man.
It's only
but here's what I can. How come no one never pays to play my game? Look at all my games I've run. How come no one pays no $1.50 to play my games?
Yeah,
they don't play. I'm gonna go back and look at everybody who played my games. You owe me $1.50 per each game, and I'll send you a bill.
Oh, all right. So that'll happen.
Because I mean that's not fair.
Hey,
how come no one wants to pay me no money, but they want to pay everybody else money? They want to give you money. They don't want to give me money.
Hey, the Ed, I think I have a solution to the problem. A new job, and I've heard of just the perfect job for you, buddy. Remember our pal Dave Damashek? He used to work in Pittsburgh on a radio station, 93.7 The Zone. Do you remember that, Ed? You'd call a show, The Sports Contraption. You remember? Well, this was a few years ago, like 2007.
He calls a lot of shows, Mike Dow. He
does. But I mean, Dave's his pal. You know, it's the guy he started with. Yeah. So it was in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
For a little
Sports
bit?
Conjunction.
Yeah.
Sports Conjunction.
The Sports Contraption. Yeah, the Sports Contraption with Dave Damashek. Yeah. Well, he was on a radio station, 93.7 The Zone in Pittsburgh. And then that station went off the air or something. I think, remember Dave?
Yeah, they ran out of money.
Well, I think didn't Dave get fired for stealing office supplies? Is that what happened, I think?
So.
Yeah. So then the station, he took so many Post-it notes and pens that they had to close the doors. So they went out of business. But just the other day, the wife and I were driving around, and she turned on the radio to 93.7, and it's a 24-hour sports radio network again, the Ed. It just started up like last week. It's called 93.7 The Fan. And it's Pittsburgh sports 24 hours a day. Larry, have you had a chance to listen to The Fan yet?
No.
Yeah. Now, why'd you laugh when I said that?
I don't know. I don't know. It just, I didn't listen to it when the day was on it, and I definitely am not going to listen to it now.
Well, see, here's what we're going to do, the Ed. A new radio station in Pittsburgh talking 24-hour sports. Who knows more about Pittsburgh sports than you, my friend? So what we're going to do...
Probably Pittsburgh's mom does, but not mine.
You love Pittsburgh sports. So what we're going to do tonight on the show...
I tell the truth about it. Goddamn baby. Shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, that goddamn baby. So what we're going to do tonight on the show, Ed, is we're going to record a little audition tape for you, and then I'm going to contact that radio station, and I'm going to say, hey, we got a little show that we can do on your network.
Probably already know me in there, man. I'm like a legend over there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you should.
You tell them everything about it.
Yeah. So are you up for that, the Ed? We're going to make a little audition tape. I'm going to send it to the radio station, and they're going to give us a job, the Ed Show in Pittsburgh, talking sports. What do you think?
Yeah, it don't matter.
All right. So you just pretend that we're hosting the show, me and you, the Ed. Like I'll be your little sidekick, and maybe Larry, you can be like a caller.
Oh, okay. I'll call in.
And you can ask a question about Pittsburgh sports.
All right.
All right, hold on. It's the Ed Show, not the Ted Show. It's sit back and hear the big Ed Show. All right, go ahead.
All right. Hey, welcome to the Ed Show. We're going to take some calls. So if you have a question you'd like to ask the Ed, feel free to call. Ohms 1, Mr. Lab. And the Ed, I see we have a call. Caller, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, caller, what your name is?
My name's Jimbo. I like Budweiser.
All right, go ahead. Don't matter.
I got a question for you, the Ed. With the recent let go of LaDainian Tomlinson, should the Steelers pick him up, being that Fast Willie Parker is probably out the door?
Yeah. Listen, I mean, you should be grateful that LaDainian Thompson got let go, because now Pittsburgh got a chance to get him a good running back. I mean, he ain't had a good running back since Franco Harris.
What about Jerome Bettis yet?
Yeah, he was good on the Rams, but he didn't do nothing on the Steelers except 1 yard in a cloud of dust. That's all he did, man. He'd have to get super close for him because he couldn't go more than 3 or 4 yards at a time. Wasn't his fault. I mean, he was fat.
What about Barry Foster? Remember Barry Foster? He had 1,600 yards 1 year.
He was old. See, listen, when he was running, he was acting like he was running from the police, because that's what he should have been trying to do. The guy got busted with all kind of stuff.
No, that's Bam Morris. You're thinking of Bam Morris. He got busted with all the trunkload of weed. Jimbo, do you remember that story?
Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah, he was down on the south side.
Yeah, it sounds like you would remember that, Jimbo. All right, thanks for calling, Jimbo. All right, Dad, we're going to take another caller because a lot of people want to talk to you. And by the way, just I'm watching this Olympic hockey game, and Ovechkin just, I guess, broke a fingernail trying to catch a puck, and now he's crying like a girl on the bench. So, all right.
He's better. He's the best hockey player. Whenever he comes to Pittsburgh, he's always the best.
Really? Now, how many is his name on the Stanley Cup? Is it? I can't remember. Is it?
Stanley's name on the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. All right. So, caller, are you there?
I'm here.
And do you have a question for the Ed?
Oh, yeah, I was just wondering what he thought about maybe the Steelers placing the franchise tag on Big Casey Hampton. Big Hamp, I like to call him.
Big Snack.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, they can go ahead and do it. I mean, they ain't going to do no good. All they're going to do is overpay for a high-priced dummy. The guy ain't even that good. I mean, what are they worried about? That he going to go off and go somewhere else? These people don't understand that they're replaceable. I mean, look, Terry Bradshaw when they got Mark Malone, they said, Terry Bradshaw, you got to go. Then Mark Malone come in, they got Tommy Maddox. You got to go.
Well,
now they got Billsberger.
Yeah, there are a few guys.
Now they got Billsberger, and they're like, Billsberger, we got Dennis Dixon. It's about time for you to go.
Well, that's just ridiculous. I don't think the Steelers are going to get rid of Ben Roethlisberger because they have Dennis Dixon. No one's suggesting
that. Well, they should. Listen, this Dennis Dixon kid is the greatest thing that they've ever had in Pittsburgh. I'm telling you.
Better than Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, yeah. Terry Bradshaw. Listen, Terry Bradshaw wasn't that good. He had a lot of people around him that surround him like Tim Tebow at Florida.
4 Super Bowls he had. Super Bowl MVP.
But that's what I'm saying. Now, listen. MVP of the Super Bowl always goes to the quarterback, so MVP of the Super Bowl is just a stupid-ass award. I'm telling you.
Since Holmes isn't a quarterback, he won MVP. Hines Ward isn't a quarterback, he got MVP.
Well, you know why? Because the teams didn't have a quarterback that played with that particular team that year. But
that was Big Ben Roethlisberger.
You got to understand, man, it's a team game. It ain't a one-man game. It's a team game that the people got to know about, man.
Very good, yeah. So let's just review real quickly for the people at home. You're saying the Steelers should get rid of Ben Roethlisberger, sign Dennis Dixon, and they should not franchise Casey Hampton because he's just a fat guy. Is that basically it?
Yeah, I should have never let Joey Porter go.
Huh. Well, apparently Joey Porter's free to sign elsewhere, right? And the Dolphins, aren't they trying to get rid of him?
Yeah, he'll probably come on to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I doubt it. All right, I'm going to check. Oh, the phone lines are still lit up. I hope the caller hasn't run out of questions yet. Caller, are you there?
I'm here.
What's your name, caller?
Jim Bob.
Hi, Jim Bob. What's up?
Hey, I just had a question for the Ed. I was just wondering how many Stanley Cup rings Alexander Ovechkin had.
I don't know. He probably ain't bought none yet. But he'll probably get some. I mean,
yeah, that's the only way he's going to get them, to buy them.
Listen. Here's what you got to understand about sports. They're team sports. You know, you can have the greatest player in the world, but if somebody fumbles the ball or kicks the ball in the goal or whatever, and it wasn't your main guy, what can you do about it? It's like Georgia talking about they want to be next to New York.
I don't know if it's like that at all, really. But certainly an interesting perspective on things.
Get your foot in your SpongeBob pajama. Where's my SpongeBob pajama?
Well, yeah. See, if we start doing the radio show for the 93.7 The Fan, you can't be talking to the baby while we're on the air.
Well, maybe the baby will find his mom. Hey.
Oh, that's right. You got the baby when you were in Pittsburgh.
Find your real mama. You want to find your real mama in Pittsburgh? He just shook his head, nope.
Well, he's got a sweet life as a baby fighter in Las Vegas.
She's a dumb hoe, ain't she? Yeah. He shook his head, yeah. Oh, it's backwards. You got to put it on the right way. Yeah, I take care of you, man. Forget that lady, man. She's stupid.
Well, yeah, we'll cut up this little audition tape, Ed, and we'll send it right over to 93.7 The Fan, and I'll let you know.
Man, I don't care what you do. It don't matter. I mean, listen. If people want to have a show that wants to be number one in the world, they got to call me.
All right. Sounds like good advice. Yeah. All right. Now, Ed, we got to finalize our fantasy baseball settings and whatnot, because it's going to be a tremendous league. 30 teams. All the spots are already filled. It's very popular. We're running it through CBS Sportsline. Now, Larry, what's the first thing you think of when I say a 30-team baseball league?
The draft is going to be as long as the All-Star break.
Yeah, it's going to be a long draft because we're going to have 25-man rosters, just like the big leagues. So if you see a guy in your TV machine and he's playing in the major leagues, he's going to be on someone's team.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm not looking forward to this 30-teamer. I'm really not.
So we got to divide this draft up, and would you like to do it? CBS lets you divide it up, so we can do it. You think three different days?
How about 9 days?
Well, I don't think that'll be a good idea. The Ed, how would you like to do it in 2 or 3 different sessions? The Ed.
Probably 2 or 3.
Well, thanks for narrowing it down for me. Yeah, maybe I'll look into scheduling it for 3. And we'll look for dates on weekends because I'm guessing people would be mostly free on weekends and in the evenings sometimes, maybe. I don't know.
Not too late. I like to go to bed early.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people who have social lives like to leave the house in the evenings on weekends. So maybe afternoon, weekend afternoon. That'd be better.
So listen, every single major league kid is going to be on a roster, huh?
Even Pirates. Yep, even Pittsburgh Pirates are going to have to be on someone's roster.
Huh.
What do you think of that, Ed?
Why don't we all just take just one team?
Well, because who would take the Pirates?
I'll take the Yankees.
Yeah. That's not so good. But another interesting aspect of this league, you start one guy at each position every day, and DH. And you can only start one starting pitcher every day. That's it. Do you like that, Larry?
I do like that. Yeah, it's like a real team.
Yeah,
that's my idea.
Yeah, it's the Ed's idea. He came up with it. He's a beauty, that the Ed. Now, some people have suggested, well, why not just have 7 starts for the entire week?
No.
No. Yeah, that's right. Tell them why, the Ed.
Because you can't be having all your good pitchers if your pitchers pitch on the same day. Oh, too bad. You got to choose. You got to pick and choose, man.
Yeah, that's right. Pick and choose, man. Pick and choose. And you can start 3 relievers every day because, 2 or 3 relievers tend to get in a baseball game every day. But only 1 starter each day. And people, if you're worried about having too many good pitchers pitch on the same day, don't. It's a 30-team league with 25-man rosters. You're not going to have 2 good pitchers. You're going to have maybe
you're not
one.
Going to have. Ain't nobody can unless you make some good trades.
Yeah, it's going to be It's going to be real hard just to have.
I'm already talking to people about trades.
Well, yeah, you can't even. No one even has the roster yet. How are you talking trades?
I got to do it. I got to make sure.
Yeah. Well, and I should remind you, I'm the commissioner of this 30-team league. So your silly little trades there, they're not going to fly with me. I will veto every single shady trade.
Why?
Because you tend to make kind of ridiculous trades with people.
Listen, you guys said that about that Adrian Peterson trade, and look, the kid picked up Chris Johnson, who ended up being like O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, I know that was something. Yeah.
What, he killed his wife?
See, but look, the guy knew what he was doing. He was in a draft war room, and I was too. And both our scouts looked, and we thought it was a good move, and.
Well, I think a better example of one of your ridiculous trades is in that basketball league where you traded Gilbert Arenas, a guy who's not playing the rest of the year, for Chris Bosh. I think
Chris Bosh missed 7 games since I've had him.
Yeah, well, it serves you right. You know.
I don't like leagues if I don't win.
Yeah, I've noticed that. All right, so that's the key settings in the format. Oh, here, we got to talk about the format of the league. Rotisserie or head-to-head, Larry?
Head-to-head in a 30-teamer.
Yeah, you kind of have to, right?
Now listen to this. How many days does a game last?
1 week. Or would you like to make it longer? No, we got to make it 1 week, right? 1 week.
Either maybe less, because you might not even play everybody then.
Yeah, you won't end up playing everybody, but so what? You know, get over it.
No, I think it should be 1 game a day. Every day it's a different game, just like in baseball.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
But then what do you do like on Thursdays and Mondays where like you only have 2?
That's just tough shit.
Yeah, I guess, do you think it would equal out over the course of the season? Like everybody
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody would equal out, man. We got 32 goddamn teams and 150 players. Come on, man.
I got to tell you, I kind of like that idea. Every game, every day.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, what about I don't know. What about a 3-game series like real baseball?
Yeah, I don't know if let me check the settings here real quick. I don't know if you can do that or not. But yeah, I tell you what, there is no off position on the Ed's genius switch. You know, he's always thinking, and it's tremendous. I'm looking at scoring periods here. We can do weekly periods, bi-weekly, or monthly. No, that's not what we want. Hold on. Okay, talk amongst yourselves, fellas.
Well, already
I'm just saying.
Saying they don't like the new game every day.
Oh,
no, they don't. No, who said that?
CAH05 says he doesn't like it every day.
Why?
He's stupid.
Why CHA05? Why not?
Yeah, why? What's wrong? What's wrong with your head?
Hold on, give him a minute to respond. This Canada-Russia game's getting ugly.
Yeah. I think it might be a moot point, though, because I don't think we can set it up to do it every day.
Well, do they give us an option on how?
I'm trying to look here.
Well, he likes the 3-game series idea.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's a game every day.
But
or is he talking a 3-day series?
Yeah, 3 days. Play the same team for 3 days and move on.
Yeah, but then that would be 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Then it count as 3 wins and 3 losses.
No, it would just... Yeah, how would that work? It'd just be one
that's
game.
What I'm saying. But that sucks. Because, look, I don't want to... What if you got a guy...
Go ahead, Ed. We're waiting. Did he get disconnected?
No, I ain't get disconnected. I'm just saying. We should do it like real baseball.
I agree with Ed. I want this to be as
but that's how they do it in real baseball, though. They play a team for 3-4 games.
Yeah, but each
game but that counts as 4 goddamn games. It don't count as 1, retard. What's wrong with you?
Why am I going to be a retard?
Well, because you're retarded. That's why. It ain't my fault. Ain't my fault. You don't even know how much a stick weighs.
All right, well, then why can't you have a win every day, then? Why not?
That's what I'm saying.
All right, well, then we'll play a 3-game series, 3 wins.
Larry doesn't even know how much a stick weighs, so what are we going to even talk to him about?
Man, the guy got his hair on backwards half the time. You don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking.
I got to flush the toilet now.
Yes, please do. But now I'm trying to find out how we can even do this. I'll look into it. We'll post something on the message board. Yeah.
Listen.
I'm not seeing anything to change it.
How much, listen, do we got a salary cap where, we can, persuade people to trade with us?
No, you can't. You can't persuade people to trade with you.
If I say to a guy, give me the first pick, I'll give you 2 Ed T-shirts and a Diet Coke.
Can't do it.
Oh, and a Diet Coke, though? I might make a trade.
I'm saying. We can't. Man, no one's gonna make trades in this league because people.
Yeah, they will.
See, that's why I make my trades just to piss people off because everybody, and it was funny. Okay, the guys that make a big deal about my basketball league, about my trades, is the same knuckleheads who goes, "Hey man, I'll give you Aaron Snow for Cody Ryan." I'm like, pfft. You should have seen all the trades I was getting in my little email box, man. They was trying to, and then when I hustle somebody, oh, it's a bad thing. Ed hustled them. But you know what? They would have been happy hustling me as long as they could. And it's the same fools trying to hustle. They're just crying.
Ed, why don't you try and trade Alexander Ovechkin for someone who wins? Because he just lost again.
Man, you know what? Olympics don't even mean nothing.
All right, you know why I don't trade the Ed? I don't trade because no, I take the guys I want. That's why. I draft guys I want on my team.
Well, here, fellas, I found the settings here, and we can't do it day by day or series by series. The smallest increment we can do is by week. So.
All right.
This league sucks.
This league sucks.
It'll be head-to-head by week, and but no, we got to decide on categories too. Ed, like most standard leagues are 5x5, with offensive categories being home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, runs scored. And then either batting average or on-base percentage. Those are the standard. And then pitching categories, wins, saves, ERA, whip, and strikeouts. But I'd like to have more categories. What do you think?
Man, I don't care. I'm winning anyway. Pittsburgh lost to Notre Dame.
Well, Ovechkin just lost to Crosby. Now, we can do all kinds of different scoring systems and whatnot. What is that? What are you doing?
He must have his Pringle duck lips in.
What is going on over there, Ed?
I'm just flipping my lips together.
All right, well, that's nice. I'm trying to look at the pitching. Please. Yeah, we're trying to do something here. What other categories would you like, Ed?
Home runs.
Yeah, home runs is going to be a category. That's right.
Singles, doubles, triples, RBIs, stolen bases.
Yeah, stolen bases. Yeah, we can have. How many categories would you like? I wanted to make this a really obscure rotisserie league, 30 teams, 10 by 10, to make it just incredibly obscure. But if it is rotisserie, then that means, by the end of the first month, half the league is going to quit just because they're going to be out of it already. So
yeah, I
think making it head-to-head makes sense. At least it gives people.
Yeah, you got to make it head-to-head.
All right, but how many categories are there? We're going to let you decide. Standard league is 5x5. What would you like it to be, Ed?
Unstandard.
Okay. Now, would you like 8 categories maybe each? 8x8? Something like that? Well, what's your favorite number?
Category.
Yeah, well, you name it. They got it. Whatever baseball category you can think of, they have it.
30-team league, 30 categories.
Oh, wow. 15 by 15. Oh, it would be awesome. All right, well, look at it. And would you like to get one win for every category? So, or would you like just one win for whoever wins the week? You know what I mean? Like, you'd either be 1-0, or you'd be like 5-4-1, or what? You know what I'm saying?
No, see, that would be better. Do it like that, 5-4-1, because then that would make it more like 162 games, close to that in the season.
Okay.
How many weeks is it? How many weeks is it?
Well, how many weeks is in a baseball season, Ed? I don't know. We'll have playoffs.
20-some, 23.
Playoffs? We talking about playoffs?
That's right. I guess there are 26 weeks in a baseball season, maybe?
Yeah, so you'd have to go like 22 regular season weeks and 4 weeks of playoffs, something like that.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
So if we had 7 categories, that'd be 154 games, like a real goddamn thing.
Well, I got to question you on the math.
What's 22 times 7?
Well, that'd be 4. Wow, 154. But if we had 7
categories... That's what I'm saying.
But, what you failed to recognize, though, Ed, is if you had 7 categories, 3 pitching, 4 hitting? We need to have, if it's a 7x7 league, that would be 14 categories. See? See how that works?
Well, 22... And then they go skiing at the Olympics.
Well, why don't you just post a thing on the board, list all the categories, and let's vote on it. I mean, me, you, and the Ed aren't the only 3 people in the league.
Yeah, but the Ed's the smartest person in the league, so I thought he would just decide for us.
Because I'd be coming up with all kind of stuff. Stuff you don't even know, never even heard of.
All right, we'll post the categories over at damashek.com, and the Ed's a good time forum, and everyone can go there and vote for the categories they want.
Like say,
what about broken bat singles? Is that in there as a category?
No.
Oh, see, I wanted that.
What about that?
What about cans of corn? Is that a category?
No, I'll read off some of the categories, though. They have 20 different categories you can choose from. You got singles, doubles, triples, at-bats, at-bat runners in scoring position, assists, walks, bases produced. These are the offensive ones, by the way. Plate appearances, catcher interference. What the hell? Combo, I don't know what that is. Caught stealing by catcher, hitting for the cycle, double plays, turn, double play, or doubles plus triples, errors, fielding chances, games, ground into. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. See, whatever you can think of, they have. Sacrifice hits. It's crazy.
Huh. So, do they have sunflower seeds as a category?
Yes.
Oh, let's do that.
All right, sunflower seeds. The Ed, please.
You'll never get a job on the fan like that, the Ed.
Yeah, you can't be burping into the microphone.
Why?
They're going to fire you. You can't do that.
Well, I mean, what happens if you got to do it?
Yeah.
Can't cry about it.
I guess not. All right,
I ain't
so
crying
we'll
no more.
well, the Ed, we got a guest coming on in about 5 minutes, the Ed. So is there
What's
anything
his
else?
name?
His name's
Yeah,
Pat.
put him on. I'll talk to him. Put him on.
No, well, he's not here yet, and I
No
don't know.
problem.
I don't know if I want you talking to him.
Why? It's your brother?
No, he's not my brother, but he's a nice guy, and I don't want him to, think you're silly.
Well, I mean, listen. Sometimes you got to do stuff you don't want to do.
Like you have to get off the phone right now, huh? That's kind of the same thing.
I'm going out to dinner with Pat Knight.
Oh, Pat Knight's in town again, huh?
Uh-oh, I just put on I put on the wrong sweatshirt. They came in town. They came in town today, this morning, and then I'm going to go eat with them here in a minute.
Yeah, now the Ed, you told me a story the last time you guys went out to dinner. Now, is that a story you would like to share with people ever, or is that top secret?
Oh, yeah, that's top secret.
Okay, we'll keep that top secret. But
About who I had dinner with? About who I had dinner with?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No one will believe. No, you know what? These guys are such non-believers. They wouldn't believe it anyway.
Well, why don't you get this Pat Knight to call your show at some point if he's such a good buddy?
He said he was going to talk on it.
When?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I let Little Jay talk to him the other day. We was on the way to the arena on Saturday morning, and Little Jay called me, and I said, I'm sitting right here with the Pat Knight right here. Pat Knight driving his Cadillac Escalade right here. And we driving, and we on the way to the arena. And Little Jay didn't believe me, and then I put him on the phone with him, and then he insulted him, said, oh, yeah, good game against Texas A&M. And Pat's like, we lost that game. He wasn't too impressed with Little Jay talking trash.
All right. Well, yeah, so tomorrow night on the Ed Show, 10 o'clock Eastern Time on the Blog Talk, the Ed will be talking about being at the swap meet.
Yeah.
He'll be giving out his fantasy baseball scholarships.
Let's see if anybody can guess who I had dinner with.
Yeah, and post your suggestions at damashek.com.
Yeah. Anybody can guess who I had dinner with and win a prize.
All right.
Ever?
No, just the other night. The certain occasion I'm referencing. Just the other night it happened. Ed had dinner with somebody.
Let's say
Dave
Chappelle.
No, it wasn't Dave Chappelle. All right, Ed. Thanks for calling, buddy. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, all right?
Who?
Well, you. I'll talk to you tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to be having my show tomorrow.
That's right. 10 o'clock Eastern Time.
Yeah, I got to get my shoes on.
All right. Well, you can do that off the air. All right. Thanks, Ed. Thanks for calling.
Later, Ed.
There he goes. Yeah, Ed, how about that? Hey, you know what he did this time? He didn't sing the Beverly Hillbillies, so that's an improvement, remember? Like the last couple of times when we tell him that, you got to hang up, he starts singing his little theme song that he does at the end of his show.
I kind of look forward to that.
Yeah, and I have to remind him, this isn't your show, this is our show.
Yeah. But I like it, though.
Yeah.
Now it's time to say goodnight to Ed and all his...
We'll work out this fantasy baseball league, and we'll update it throughout the season, because a 30-team league, no one's ever heard of such a thing, right? That's like, who's ever played a 30-team baseball league? Nobody.
Hank Aaron.
No, I don't know. Were there 30 teams that Hank Aaron played?
No, probably not.
So, good try.
All right. Well, then how about Josh Hamilton?
Yes, Josh Hamilton has played a 30. No, well, actually, well, I guess, interleague. They don't play everybody, though, but neither will.
Yeah, well, we're not going to play everybody either.
Yeah. So, our buddy Pat Picciarelli should be joining us shortly.
He's here.
Oh, look at that.
I'm guessing it's him. It's all ones.
Yeah, it's probably Pat. So go ahead.
It's either him or VJ from Australia.
No, it's me.
Hey, Pat Picciarelli, what's up, man?
How you doing? Right on time, right?
Yeah, Pat, very, very punctual as always. Let me just remind everybody, Pat Picciarelli, former New York City police officer. He's a current private investigator. He's also an author, and he's my personal writing mentor, and he's an all-around fine fella. And Pat, I got to tell you, the last time you were on, everybody just loved you. I couldn't get enough. They were saying all these emails are coming in, hey, get Pat Picciarelli back on, get Pat back on. So here you are.
Those are all my relatives, Mike.
Yeah, you got a lot of them then, because everyone loved you. Yeah. And we should remind everybody also about your websites. pi-scribe.com is your writing website, and condorpi.com is your private investigating firm, right?
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning them.
Yeah. So how you doing, Pat?
Well, pretty good, pretty good. I'm out of town on a case.
Oh, where are you at?
Well, I'm pulling a Dick Cheney.
Oh, no. You're going to kill a prostitute? What?
No, I'm in an undisclosed location.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
But I always have time for you guys.
Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Hey.
Yeah, because we were going to talk, it's a future date you're going to come back, because you're going to be a semi-regular on the show, right?
Yeah, anytime you want. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. So I think next time you're going to talk poker with Larry, because Larry likes to poker, and you used to, in your younger days, you used to make a living playing poker for a little bit.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Texas Hold'em?
Yeah, Texas Hold'em, but when I started playing, there was no such thing. At least it wasn't popular. So it was 7-card stud usually.
Oh, 7-card
But
stud.
now everybody's playing Hold'em, so, I had to get into it.
You ever play Omaha?
Yes, played Omaha, played them all.
I love Omaha. I love that game.
I go to Vegas every now and then to visit my money.
Yeah. Well, Pat, we just got off the phone with a buddy of ours named Ed Miller. He lives in Las Vegas. Maybe next time you're in Vegas, you can look him up.
All right, I will.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
He might have already done that, Mike, though. You don't know.
Yeah, you never know. All right, but tonight on the show, Pat, we're going to talk police TV shows, movies, and books.
Right up my alley.
Yeah, because you like the cops and whatnot. Now, I put together, we do a regular bit on the show. We call it the Top 11, where we make lists of our 11 favorite things. So I put together a list of my top 11 favorite TV shows, and then about police officers and cops and whatnot. And then you and Larry can comment and crack wise about it. And but we have a theme song, because I know Pat loves the theme songs for a little bit.
Absolutely crazy about it.
Yeah. So we got one for the top 11. Do you have that ready, Larry?
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead. That's not it. That is not the theme song.
Tina Fey has balls.
Oh, Larry, that's not
right.
Hey, Pat, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you know who Tina Fey is?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, she's a lovely woman, right?
Absolutely.
That's right.
She speaks highly of you too, I think.
Oh, how about that? Yeah. So, Larry, the real theme song, please.
The numbers all go to 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
LCS Hockey, top 11.
11!
Yeah, how do you like that, Pat? Top 11.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Now, would you like your own personal theme song whenever you come on the show?
Yeah. Do I get to vote, or are you just going to assign me one?
No, you get whatever music you want. I would be interested to know your musical taste. If I had to guess, I would say like something Sinatra.
Yeah,
well,
that's what I would
actually, I'm a very big jazz guy.
Oh, I like jazz.
Having been born and raised in the atmosphere, in the jazz atmosphere, but yeah, I'm sort of an old school kind of guy. Put it this way: very little hip hop.
All right.
Very little.
Well, we'll work it out. Next time you come on, we'll have a theme song for you.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so my top 11 list of cop shows. Now, the only requirement is that the main character has to be a police officer.
Well, that makes
sense.
Okay.
Yeah, that rules out, like, my beloved shows like Psych or Banachek or Charlie's Angels, Quincy, Perry Mason, like that kind of stuff where cops are involved but not main characters, So, all right, ready? All right, so number 11, I'm sure this is going to be one of your favorites, Pat. I got a little show called Chips. Chips.
Oh, yeah, well... I was almost on the LAPD. I had decided I was going to quit the NYPD back in the early 70s.
Oh, yeah?
It just wasn't for me. There was a lot of corruption involved, and it just wasn't for me. So I go out there to take the test, and I did very well. And in the course of staying out there, it was out there for about 3 weeks, I guess, I met quite a few California Highway Patrol guys, who, by the way, took themselves very seriously.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, quite. That show was Well, like anything else on television, it's supposed to be entertaining, you know. But it was basically fluff, you know.
Yes.
But
kind of like campy almost. It was on 6 seasons, 77 to 83. Larry, how'd you feel about Chips?
Loved it.
Yeah, Ponch and John, right?
Yeah.
But it went downhill.
Weren't you the head of the Eric Estrada fan club at one time?
I still am.
Well, there you go. The president, the vice president, and the treasurer, and probably all the members.
Yeah, that is me.
It probably went downhill a little bit once Larry Wilcox left, though, right? Don't you think?
Oh yeah.
It was destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah. But let me ask you this.
All the talent went out the window. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, though, Pat. You already mentioned it stands for California Highway Patrol, but then they just slipped that I in there to make Chips. Why the I? You know?
Well,
why not
I guess it's easy for people to understand. Well, what would Chips be? You know, without the I. You know.
How about slipping an I and an M in there, and then you got Chimps?
Chimps. There you go.
I think that'd be good.
That had something. If they did that, that would equate with the acting ability.
Yeah.
You know, but it was fluff. It was cute, and you got to see L.A. for us East Coasters who didn't know what the highways of L.A. looked like. You know, we could easily see it. But anyway, I decided not to take the LAPD job because I got word that while I was out there, almost getting ready to be sworn in, I got promoted to sergeant back in the NYPD, and I said I didn't want to throw all that money away, you know. So
it's good thinking. And hey, a little later when we get into police movies, we'll touch on that corruption in the New York City police.
Obviously going to talk about Frank Serpico.
That's right. All right. So, one more thing about Chips I had. In all your time as a cop and now as a private eye, have you ever encountered a 30-car pileup like that happened every week on Chips?
No, it seems that's indigenous to California. It doesn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah. Those are always, Larry, you like the car crashes, right? They always got to be flipping through the air and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the tight shirts, too.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's trouble. All right, number 10. I'm sure this one will be close to your heart, Pat. Miami Vice. Miami Vice.
Well, that created an entire fashion trend. I mean, everybody that I knew was walking around with sport jackets with their sleeves rolled up.
Yeah,
you know,
no socks.
Yeah, no socks. I mean, visually, it was probably one of the best shows I've ever seen. You know, it didn't have much to do with police work, unless you're talking about people getting shot every week. But I mean, there wasn't any accuracy there. It was all about style, and they did it extremely well. I mean, that was a fantastic show. I mean,
now at any time in your police career, did you live on a boat, have an alligator as a pet, and drive a Ferrari Testarossa?
Well, close. I took the Staten Island ferry to work. I had a pet lizard, and I had a Corvette.
Look at you.
So you know, sort of. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Now, Larry, when we were younger, Miami Vice, it was all the rage, right?
Yeah, I never really got into it though. I wasn't into the pastel shirts with the big collars, the sports coats.
But you know, I tell you, as far as police work goes, the burning question is, whatever happened to Tubbs?
Yeah.
I mean, they got vanished off the face of the earth. You know, there ought to be some real cops looking for him.
Philip Michael Thomas. Yeah, maybe you can test your PI skills and track him down.
There you go. He's gone. He's MIA.
But Miami Vice, of course, they brought cocaine into the popular culture. A lot of cocaine references in Miami Vice, all the drugs and the Uzi. I think the first time I saw an Uzi maybe it was on Miami Vice.
Well, and Crockett also carried what was known as a Bren 10. It was a huge gun, and he got that firearm. He made that gun particularly popular.
I don't even remember.
The only problem is with the Bren 10, it was a minor problem. It just didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
You would pull the trigger and it would go click. So it didn't last very long on the police market. But that's what Detective Crockett carried.
Yeah, and Miami Vice ran 5 seasons from '84 to '89 there on NBC, and like I was 9 years old and stuff when it came out. And because of Miami Vice, every year at Halloween I measured my candy in kilos.
Oh, there you go. Very good. How old did you say you were?
I was 9.
God, I have socks older than that.
That's right. God. So, all right, so that's Miami Vice number 10. Number 9, I don't know if Larry even knows this one. Pat, I'm sure you remember it. It really wasn't a series. It was a series of TV movies that they did. It's called McCloud.
Oh, the guy who rode through Manhattan on a horse.
That's right. Dennis Weaver
that was
played.
real. That was real. Oh,
yeah, Dennis Weaver played Marshal Sam McLeod. He's from New Mexico.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. He's from New Mexico, and he got sent to New York City on special assignment.
It happens all the time with those New Mexico cops. So
yeah.
Why not build a series around it? Yeah, I can understand that.
It was great, though. Larry, did you ever hear of McLeod?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
How long did that run for, Mike?
7 seasons, but only
really?
46. Yeah, only 46 episodes. Because it was in a cycle of mystery movies with like other ones that we'll mention here in a bit.
Yeah, right.
But,
Rock Hudson, Mr.
That's right.
Whatever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if that show, McLeod, had any degree of accuracy, every week the horse would have to get hit by a cab.
Yeah.
If that didn't happen, it just wasn't accurate. So
Yeah, it ran from 1970 to 1977. And as Pat has said, in the opening credits, there'd be a scene of Dennis Weaver on a horse right down New York City.
Yeah, he was going through Times Square on a horse, and no one paid attention to him.
Yeah, it was a great show though. And depending on which season you saw it, like it would either be 60, 90, or 120 minutes. And but it was great. And he had a little catchphrase. He'd say, "There you go." That was his little catchphrase. There you go. And there's something else about McLeod I wanted to mention. Oh, well, it was based on the Clint Eastwood movie, the 60 Coogan's Bluff.
Right. Well, that was it was vintage Clint. Anything he did was good.
Yeah.
All he had to do was get on the camera and grit his teeth, and everybody loved it. But that's true. That's what it was based on.
Yeah. So McLeod, number 9. All right, number 8. You just mentioned it. This was another one of the ones in the mystery movie cycle. McMillan and Wife. I loved it. Yeah.
Oh, with that man's man, Rock Hudson. And,
that's right, Rock Hudson.
And
Susan St. James. Who was, which was she, Larry? Kate or Allie on Kate and Allie?
I think she was Allie.
See, I think she was Kate.
Just to create controversy, I'll say she was Kate.
I think she was Kate, actually.
Oh, was she? There you go. I got something right.
I think so, yeah.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. So Susan St. James, this was from 71 to 77, 40 episodes, but I always enjoyed it, McMillan and Wife.
I saw it occasionally, and, being a cop on the street every day and dealing with the violence, I would like these shows because all the violence occurred off camera.
Yeah, for the most part. There wouldn't be too much going on in McMillan.
No, I mean, this wasn't a hard-boiled show.
It was more lighthearted.
You wanted to escape. Yeah. And, of course, if you were a Rock Hudson fan, and I'm sure there were legions of those, you could just tune in and, relax for an hour. It didn't take much brain power to get through a show like that.
Yeah, they were all 90 minutes long, and Nancy Walker was on there, too. She played their maid.
Right.
Rhoda's mom, I'm sure everyone remembers, on Mary Tyler Moore. And the Quicker Picker-Upper, what was that? The
Bounty Paper Towels.
Yeah, Nancy Walker. What else about McMillan and Wife? Yeah, I enjoyed it. Larry, did you find out who was Kate or Allie?
Susan St. James was Kate.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay.
And also, by the way, Susan St. James, she used to live in Hartford, Connecticut. She was a big Hartford Whalers fan. And the one season, I forget which year it was, each team had a celebrity spokesperson. The Penguins had Fred Rogers, and the Whalers had Susan St. James.
Didn't her son just get killed in a plane crash about 2 years ago?
Oh, I have no idea.
He did. Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Number 7, I'm sure this is going to be one you like, Pat. And once again, Larry, I don't even know if you know this show. It ran from 1968 to 1975. Adam 12.
How old are you?
Funny you should bring that up, but I got a call about 8 months ago from Martin Milner.
Oh.
Was
he involved?
Yeah, he's 78 years old. He was the older cop, for those of you who recall the show.
Yeah, he was Pete Malloy, right?
He was Pete Malloy, yeah. And he had read my second Wags book, Jimmy the Wags, My Life on the NYPD.
Uh-huh.
And he sought me out. He called a publisher. The publisher gave him my phone number, and he called me.
Wow.
And we spoke for about an hour. I mean, how often do you get a call from Martin Milner?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now,
anyway, he was telling me about the show. The shields, the badges that they wore. By the way, they're not badges; they're shields.
Yes.
The shield that he wore was a real LAPD shield, and they would give him the shield every day when they started shooting, and they would take it back at the end of the shooting. But we spoke. I think there was 240 episodes of that. There was a lot of episodes.
7 seasons. So yeah, I'm not sure the episode count.
But yeah, he actually called me and we spoke. He really liked the book. He said it he likes cops, apparently.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, because I keep waiting for Mark Lynn Baker, who played Cousin Larry Appleton on Perfect Strangers. I would love for him to call me someday, but
next time I see him, I'll give me a number.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. But yeah, Adam 12, for the people who don't remember, it was about LAPD patrol officers, Pete Malloy and Jim Reed. Pete Malloy was the veteran, the grizzled vet, and he got teamed up with Jim Reed, the rookie, and he showed him the ropes.
It was basically Dragnet in uniform.
Yes, yeah, that's basically what it was. And Adam 12. Yeah, it was kind of shot the same way. Were the same people responsible for directing it and everything? Because it had the same look.
Jack Webb.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Jack Webb produced them both.
Yeah, he was an icon on the LAPD. In fact, one of the classrooms in the LAPD Academy is the Jack Webb classroom.
And when Jack Webb died, they retired his shield number 714.
714, exactly. You're right.
Yep. All right. So we might be hearing about Jack Webb a little later, Larry. I know you're excited because.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped.
Now number 6, I think this will be one Larry can discuss. A little something called NYPD Blue.
Yeah, here we go.
You know, people ask me about what's the most accurate cop show, and they assume I'm going to say NYPD Blue, but it's actually, I think, Barney Miller.
Ah. Good. Yeah, save it. Well, no, go ahead and say it, but we'll be hearing Barney Miller later if you want to say it.
Okay, we'll save that. But anyway, as far as NYPD, I would watch it. I probably watched it for about 4 or 5 episodes, and it was so frantic. I mean, they were trying. You know, it was accurate to the point of dialogue. It was shot in the old 9th precinct on East Village. At least the exteriors were. But it was so frantic and fast moving. I had to take a Valium to watch the damn show. You know, I mean, I wanted to reach through the screen and punch out Sipowicz. I mean, I couldn't rip his face off. After a while, that was enough. I stopped watching it. I mean, take it easy, guys. I mean, they would jam 8 days worth of police work into an hour, actually 42 minutes after commercials. You know, and, so while it was accurate, it was too accurate.
Yeah, Larry, how does that make you feel?
That's a real kick in the balls because Sipowicz is a hero of mine. I love that guy.
Well, gee, tell me how you really feel.
He loves Sipowicz.
I love
Sipowicz. Was too. If that was first of all, get rid of the short sleeve shirts. Don't be crazy. It could be 4 degrees out. He's wearing short sleeve shirts. But anyway, aside from that.
But Pat, you got to admit, he was a handsome fella and he was in shape, so he wanted to show off the guns.
Well, Vietnam vet, very nice guy, Dennis Franz, a very big supporter of police officers. Went to all the functions, contributed money to the widows and orphans. I mean, a very nice guy as an actor. But you know, every squad has a Sipowicz. The ex-alcoholic or the current alcoholic, you know, bitter, opinionated, racist. He played the part perfectly. He won a half a dozen Emmys for the role. I mean, he was good. To me, it was just too much. I would come home from work, relax, put on the tube, and what do I see? Exactly what I left. Yeah. It just wasn't.
Yeah, it was on for 12 seasons from 1993 to 2005. Now, Larry, the reason it's only 6th on my list is because I thought it went through too many incarnations. You know, like just too many partners for Sipowicz. Everyone kept leaving him. You know, like it started with who? David Caruso, right? And then
well,
Jimmy
he was
Smith.
The star in the first season. Yeah. Then Jimmy Smith came on.
And then we had who? Rick Schroeder, right?
Yeah.
And then after Rick left, who was on there?
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
That kid from Saved by the Bell, right?
Yeah, Mark Paul Gosselaar.
And I think we can tell when the show went downhill.
He was good on that show, though.
So I think once Rick Schroeder left, it was over. Like it was just too much.
You know, the show went out on top. You know, I mean, it was good. It was innovative. The technical advisor, I can't recall his name, but he was a detective in the 114 precinct. And when they started that show, he was called out to be a technical advisor for a week or two. He wound up being one of the co-producers, and he's living in Beverly Hills somewhere today.
Nice.
And he put in his 20. He would go out there on vacations, and when the time came, he retired, and he's still in television. I can't recall his name,
but Pat, you said that you've met Dennis Franz.
Yeah, every cop in the NYPD met Dennis Franz.
Because I imagine him to be the exact opposite of what Sipowicz is. Like I picture him.
You know, a very gracious guy. As I said, a Vietnam vet, we had that in common. I mean, I didn't know the guy personally. I met him at some police racket. But a very humble, nice guy.
That's what I imagine him to be like.
Yeah, very, very, very pleasant guy, and obviously an excellent actor.
Hey, Larry, who was your favorite partner of Sipowitz's? If you
Simone, Jimmy Smits.
Jimmy Smits?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
He was great on that show.
Well, before we get into the top 5, let me just ask you, Pat, none of these shows made my list, but how do you feel about the Law and Orders and the CSIs and that kind of stuff?
Law and Order is very accurate. If you watch the show and you take the show apart, there's no scene on that show that lasts more than 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's extremely fast-moving, and also they don't get into the characters' personal lives for the most part. They might touch on it. The Lenny Briscoe character, his daughter was killed by a pimp or a junkie or something. I mean, that's as far as they got in his drinking problem and that. But it's all about the show. It's all about the action. The scenes move very fast. The legal parts of it are extremely accurate. And let's face it, it's been around for, 20 seasons? And all its incarnations, Law & Order SVU, Law & Order Criminal Intent. I understand the next Law & Order is going to be Law & Order Parking Enforcement Agent. That's going to come on next season. I mean, every incarnation they have is a success.
I like the early seasons, like seasons 1 and 2. I used to watch them on A&E and whatnot when they reran them. But it's too much now. It's just too formulaic. And you know what they should do is they should try opening an episode with 2 random people walking down the street talking and finding a dead body.
Gee, that's odd. Yeah, they ought to do that. Yeah.
Maybe they should look into trying to do that once or twice.
Yeah, call them up. Give them the idea.
Yeah, but now what about the CSI and all that kind of stuff?
I watched the original for a while, and then you talk about formulaic. That's what it got to be. Plus, I'm ingrained in this business. I've been in law enforcement for 40-something years. God, am I that old? I guess I am. But CSIs were actually, they don't call them CSIs. They're the forensic unit. Uh-huh. But it's the most mundane, boring, tedious job there is in any police organization. They go and they collect evidence. They don't carry guns, of course, unless they're sworn police officers, but there's mostly civilians. They collect evidence, they go back to the lab, and they get hunchbacks leaning over microscopes. They don't interview anybody. They don't get into blazing shootouts. There's no Marg Hellenbergers in these units, because if there was, I would have volunteered. They made something out of it that it isn't. However, it had a great impact on law enforcement. Juries now want to see that CSI effect. Yeah. They want to know all about DNA. This is what they want to see, and if they don't see it, they tend not to convict the guy that's on trial. And I hear this consistently from prosecutors. Oh, we're screwed. We don't have any DNA. Yeah, 47 eyewitnesses, but we don't have any DNA. Yeah. We have a problem. This is what people expect to see. And on the other hand, college students or people that are just growing up want to get into some kind of law enforcement, want to go into forensics because they think that's what they're going to be doing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of forensics departments have cropped up in schools all over the country. People are clamoring to get in because that's what they think they're going to be doing. Are they in for a shock? When
I think our little university there, Seton Hill, I think they're looking to get a program started or something.
People think that they're going to be driving around solving crimes and interviewing people, and it's not the case.
Hey, Larry, do you ever watch the CSIs?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I never really watched them either. So. All right, number 5, Pat, I think you're going to like this one. 7 seasons from 81 to 87, Hill Street Blues.
Hill Street Blues was the innovator in police stories. It operated on an arc, which it was the first program to ever do that. The stories stretched from week to week. There was a lot of humor in it. It was dark humor, but there was a lot of humor in it. It was a great show. It didn't have anything to do with police work, but that's not what it was about. It was about the characters, and it was about stories. The accuracy. First of all, we never did, the viewer never did ascertain where Hill Street actually was. What was the police department? No one ever knew. Yeah. And it didn't have anything to do with the story. It was strictly about the stories themselves. You could have taken those stories and put it in any other kind of setting, and it would have done equally as well.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it when it was first on because I was like 5 and 6 and stuff. But I saw they used to rerun it on I think TV Land or something about 10 years ago, and I watched.
Travanti.
Yeah, Daniel J. Travanti was Frank Furillo, the main guy.
The last thing he did, I understand that he drank himself into oblivion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, well, Larry's trying to get there too. But I only saw about 1 or 2 seasons of it, but it was very good, and it was just well done, well written, everything. Now, Larry, you used to always ask me, like you never really watched it too much, right, Larry?
No, not really. But wasn't that shot in Pittsburgh?
Really?
Well, it could have been, the exteriors, but they just didn't tell you what department it was because it didn't have anything to do with anything.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't know that, Larry. Wow, look at you with the Hill Street Blues trivia.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to tell you, you always ask me did I like it better than NYPD Blue, and I say yeah, because it's better, and you say I was crazy. But Larry, did you know your buddy Dennis Franz was on Hill Street Blues?
Yeah, I'm aware.
He was a psycho cop that took hostages, I believe.
Well, I don't know. He played 2 characters. I don't know the first character. They actually brought him back later. Then in season 6, has a recurring character named Lieutenant Norman Bunce. Is that
he was so popular. He played a bad cop who took hostages, and perhaps he was killed, perhaps he wasn't. But the viewers liked him so much that they did bring him back.
Yeah, Norman Bunce
as a cop. They brought him back from the dead.
And I think he even got a spin-off from it, Bunce of Beverly Hills, I believe.
Yeah, that lasted about an hour and a half.
Yeah. But so there you go, Larry. Dennis Franz on NYPD Blue and Hill Street Blues.
Now, who was the dog breath guy?
That was the character on the show was named Belker.
Okay.
The actor, I don't recall. He's somebody else that just sunk into oblivion. We never saw him again.
Yeah.
Bruce White.
Bruce White, yes.
He was very popular.
Great lamented Bruce White.
Yeah. All right,
he's currently on General Hospital, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that. How about that? Yeah. Good for him. All right, number 4. Now, this is a personal favorite of mine. Maybe not the best show ever, but I loved it. Starsky and Hutch. Come on, Pat. Let's hear it. Starsky and Hutch.
I never saw the show.
Really?
Of course, I knew what the premise was. It was a very popular show.
Yeah.
But there was something about it I didn't like, and it just wasn't my thing.
Oh, it's great. From 75 to 79. Larry, you were never that fond of it, right? Or?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. Because they were undercover detectives, and they drove around in a really cool car. And
everybody does that, sure.
Yeah, but back then, 1975 Ford Torino with the white stripe, oh, it was tremendous. And but they worked outside the box. They weren't sticklers for rules, Pat. They did their own thing.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I'm an ex-cop now.
Yeah, and their best buddy was a pimp named Huggy Bear. Oh,
yeah.
So good. Yeah. Loved it. Yeah, so Starsky and Hutch. Well, I thought we were going to do like 10 minutes just on Starsky and Hutch, and here
no, I don't know. Some shows you like and some you just don't go near. That was one of them.
Yeah, and they had the captain who would yell at him, Captain Dobie, and they'd always get him mad, play little jokes on him and stuff, and
that's
yell at him.
Police work, because that's part of the job description of a captain. You got to be able to scream.
Yeah, he just yelled. It was great.
If you can't scream, you just skip over that rank.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to number 3 then. You mentioned it earlier. 8 seasons from 75 to 82, Barney Miller.
Barney Miller. People ask me this because, all these years in law enforcement, what's the most accurate depiction of an NYPD squad room? And that show was the NYPD. It was a squad room somewhere. They intimated it was in the village, the East Village, West Village, whatever. That's the way a squad room operated. The humor was the same. It was all dark because if you don't laugh on this job, you wind up drinking yourself to death or shooting yourself. I mean, detectives particularly have a very dark, black, sarcastic sense of humor. And it sustains you. It gets you through police work. And I don't know who the writers were on that thing, but it's about the closest thing to real cops that was on television then and since.
Yeah, it was great, and so many memorable characters. Now, Larry, did you like Barney Miller?
It was all right. I mean, I think I was too young to appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great. Now, who was your favorite guy on Barney Miller, Pat?
The old beat-up detective, Abe Vigoda.
Oh yeah, Fish. Abe Vigoda.
Fish. Every squad had one, just like every squad had a Sipowicz.
Uh-huh.
Every squad had a Fish, a guy that was there beyond his years, wouldn't retire until they took him out feet first. Eligible to, when you on the NYPD, you get a half-pay retirement at 20 years, and most guys come on the job in their early 20s. So this guy was on way past there. Well, the type of detective who just couldn't leave. We always had one that was like older than sand.
Yeah.
I just refused to leave, and it was a perfect depiction of Fish. Now, that show was on in what years, did you say, Mike?
75 to 82.
Okay, I thought he was in his 60s then.
Yeah. Well, he just turned...
Abe Vigoda is still around.
Today's his birthday, Pat. He's 89 years old.
God, he aged poorly. I mean, I thought he was much older then. Wow.
89. Abe Vigoda. God bless Abe Vigoda. I also liked Nick Yamana. Jack Sue as Nick Yamana. Remember
there
him?
was an episode where he ate marijuana-laced brownies. You remember
yes.
that?
Yep.
I mean, I still think about it. I think it's one of the best episodes of any police-type show I've ever seen. And I think a lot of that was ad-libbed. A lot of that couldn't have been scripted.
Yeah, it was so good. Barney Miller was so good when Fish and Yamana were there. Fish left after season 2, and Yamana sadly passed away during season 5. He had throat cancer, and now, one of the running jokes on the show was that he always made the coffee, and the coffee was terrible, And apparently, from what I read today, when Hal Linden, who played Barney Miller, the last time he met with Nick Yamana before he died, Nick Yamana told him it must have been the coffee that gave him the throat cancer.
Too strong.
Yeah, no, how good is that,
Yeah,
but when I was a little kid, I liked Wojo, and then you had Ron Glass was Harris, the guy who was trying to sell books and movies and stuff.
Black guy. Yeah.
And
it was. I mean, I used to watch that show when I was on the job. I was on the job in the '80s, and it was everybody that I worked with.
Yeah. And they had the lady, Larry. I don't know if you remember, Linda Lavin was on there. She was on there for a little bit as a lady police officer. You loved Alice, right, Larry?
Alice, yeah, Alice.
Yeah, Linda Lavin.
Yeah. Talk about Alice.
Yeah. All right. So number 2. Now this is probably the preeminent cop show ever. It's Dragnet, of course. Jack Webb. Dragnet.
Yeah. He made the NYPD, the LAPD, what it was during the 60s and 70s, which the depiction of the department was super straight-laced, very military, and in reality, the LAPD was probably one of the most corrupt big city police departments in the 50s and 60s. The guy named Parker took it over, and transformed it. But you talk about corrupt, large police departments. LAPD was ripe with heavy corruption.
Yeah, just from my investigations into the old Robert Kennedy assassination.
Or you go back a little further, the Black Dahlia murder, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
There's a very good book out called Black Dahlia Avenger.
Okay.
Highly recommended under the true crime genre. About a guy, in fact, a retired LAPD homicide detective, who says that the Black Dahlia killer was his father, and has a lot of evidence to back it up, and why the LAPD covered it up. You're a big conspiracy buff.
Yeah, I'll
read that book. You'll be fascinated. He gathered a lot of evidence, but the LAPD was extremely corrupt until Jack Webb came along, and transformed the image to what you see today. And to this day, the LAPD has a lot of problems with the Ramparts division. I think everybody in Ramparts went to jail. I mean, it isn't any worse now than any other big city police department. But Jack Webb gave that job a spit and polish image to Dragnet.
Dragnet had 2 runs. The first was from 51 to 59. Those are all the old black and white episodes, obviously. And then it came back in 67 through 70. And those are the ones that I really watched, Nick and Knight all the time, with his partner.
They're talking about people who live forever. Harry Morgan's still around.
Yeah, Bill Gannon was his partner. He played Bill Gannon.
He's in his 90s.
Yeah, and of course Jack Webb was Joe Friday, just the fax ma'am, and the great intro to the show about changing the names to protect the innocent and everything.
Yeah, quite a guy. In fact, I opened my second book, the Wags book, when he was a police officer. The first chapter of that book is Jimmy the Wags and his father sitting around a radio in the 1950s listening to the old Dragnet show.
Yeah, it started on the radio, and then he brought it to TV.
Yeah, well, in fact, it was on television and on the radio at the same time. But Jack Webb was such a stickler for accuracy. When you heard him walking up the stairs to the homicide division, there was 14 stairs, and he had 14 steps on that radio show, so you heard 14 clip-clops going up the stairs. He was extremely accurate, and he loved the LAPD.
Yeah, and Jack Webb did it all. Didn't he write it and produce it, direct it?
He wrote it, produced it, directed it. He did it all. Yeah, he did it all.
Yeah, he's the real deal, the Jack Webb. Yeah. Now, Larry, I'm almost afraid to ask, but I'm sure you probably like the Dragnet movie with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, the Virgin Connie Swale.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, Mike. I'm 36. I'm not 63. I never really watched Dragnet.
But I'm younger than you, and I love Dragnet. So
but you're very old inside.
Yeah, I'm like an 80-year-old man inside.
Yeah.
But, so go watch the Dragnet. Just so many great episodes from that 67 to 70 run. Oh, it's awesome. All right, my number one cop
here we
show.
go.
Yeah, you want to say it, Larry, or should I?
Well, here comes Lazy Eye. Go ahead, Mike Dell.
Yeah, Columbo. Peter Falk. Yeah, I love the Columbo. He first came on TV in '68, and it ran. He was still doing Columbo shows in 2003. Altogether, there are 69 episodes. 30 of them were 73 minutes. 39 ran 98 minutes long. But Columbo, I love him, Pat. I can't get enough.
Well, once again, pure escapism. That's not real police work. This guy didn't have a partner, didn't have a boss except the one that he kept on referring to.
Didn't have a gun?
Never was in a police precinct. Never collected a paycheck. We never saw where he lived. He just rode around in an old beat-up jalopy. And once again, it was all about
a French car. A French car, too, by the way.
It was a Peugeot or something.
That's right. That's right.
But, you talk about, wanting to write in this genre, Michael, that you and I write in, You have a show that deals with homicides every week and has nothing to do with police work.
Oh, no, come on. Columbo was great.
But that's what made it good. He didn't care whether this guy was a cop or a sanitation worker.
That's right.
I
remember the one
the street. It was just good, excellent writing. Because he was the first, or it was the first show where you knew who did it.
That's right. You worked backwards.
And then you worked backwards, and that was something very innovative because you used to wait until the end to find out who the killer was, and you found out who the killer was in the show in the first scene. If you would, can you imagine pitching that to a studio and say, we're going to know who the killer is, and we'd like $6 million to do the first episode. Get out of here.
Technically, it's more suspense than mystery because you already know. But the mystery isn't who did it, but how is Columbo going to catch him? That's like
and his character. It's all about his character. I understand poor Peter Falk is suffering from a very bad case of dementia these days.
Yeah, he's having a rough time of it, so let's all, pray for the Peter Falk. But, I just love Columbo. So many great episodes. So many, every episode would have a different famous guest star. Well, usually they're famous. But, and Steven Spielberg directed some of those early episodes, by the way. And Jack Cassidy was my favorite guy on there as a villain. And Dick Van Dyke even was a murderer one time on there. Dick Van Dyke.
The first one, the pilot episode was actually a TV movie.
Diagnosis Murder. Prescription for Murder, right?
Prescription Murder, Gene Barry.
Yeah. That was great. I love Columbo so much. Hey, Larry, how about top 11 Columbo episodes next week?
No, thank you. Let me ask you this, Mike Dell. How do you have top 11 cop shows and you don't have cops on the list?
Well, because it's a drama. It's not
reality.
it's not like a written show or anything,
But it's a cop show about real cops.
I'm not a big fan of white tank tops and stuff like that.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're a fan of.
I can't watch it either.
Yeah. You don't. Oh, so you don't like cops?
No, I've seen it once or twice, and just over and over again. The drugs and who's beating on who, and it's just like the old days. I don't want to see that stuff.
Yeah.
I want to be entertained.
Now, Pat, are there any shows you'd like to mention that I missed?
I'm thinking, of late, you talk about the last 10 years, I don't really watch much television anymore. And perhaps because I started to write, and I can't view television, I can't view movies like I used to just for enjoyment. I take everything apart.
Yeah, you start deconstructing it and everything,
I divide the show into 3 acts. I want to know what the plot points are, you know, and I pick out lighting problems. It's just not that enjoyable anymore. Plus, it's the same old plots with the same old thing over and over and over again. You know, I heard a lot of good things about The Wire, but I tried watching it. What was that on, Larry? Showtime, The Wire? Is that right?
HBO.
HBO, really?
Yeah,
I tried it either, but it came so highly recommended. I just ordered the first season. I want to see what I'm missing. But it talked about writers. George Pelecanos was a writer on that. I mean, big genre writers. Dialogue's supposed to be excellent. So I'm gonna, check it out and see if it's all it's cracked up to be. Yeah, the only episode I tried to watch, it was from like late in the run. Like I don't know how many seasons they did. I think it was the last season, but it seemed to be focused on a newspaper more than the police. Well, you had to follow it. It was an auction. Yeah. The same plot lines went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. Yes, I wasn't real something that you had to stick with. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, Larry, any other shows you'd like to mention before we get into other stuff?
Well, what about like Hunter and T.J. Hooker?
Hunter and T.J. Hooker, yeah. Hunter, I used to watch Hunter when I was a little kid. I enjoyed that. Wire. One that almost made the list. I probably should. Police Squad. Frank Drebin. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Frank Drebin. Yeah. Drebin. Drebin, right. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen was the guy that did it. And, of course, Leslie Nielsen was on a few episodes of Columbo as well, by the way. Is he still around? I think so, yeah. Larry, Leslie Nielsen's still around, right?
Yeah, he's alive, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, he's alive. He's probably, he's probably close to 80 or maybe even over 80 at this point, but yeah, he's still kicking. Yeah,
anything else, Larry, that I missed?
What about Sipowicz?
Yeah, we covered Sipowicz. Sipowicz. Yeah, gee, we haven't talked about him at all. Yeah. All right, we're running out of time already, but police movies, real quick. A couple before we get into Serpico, because I know my old man wants me to ask you about Serpico. But Detective Story is one of my favorites from 1951. Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
Do you know that one? That was originally a Broadway play. Yes. It all takes place in one squad room. And, you watch it now, the acting is great, but it's very dated. I mean, this guy's, the detective's whole world is going to crumble, and they're going to follow him because his wife had an abortion. Yeah. Silly, but, now. But then it was a big deal. I believe it won a Pulitzer Prize. Or won some kind of prize. When Probably. It was on Broadway. When it was on Broadway. And one of the ladies, Best Supporting Actress, I can't even think of her name right now, Lee something. Lee Grant. Yeah, Lee Grant. Or was it? Yeah, I think so. She won the Academy Award. And but yeah, it's my favorite acting performance of Kirk Douglas. It's like he's going to explode at any minute. Like well, that's what he did. I mean, he used to grit his teeth and that's what he did. Yeah, it's just great stuff. And of course, we got to get your take real quick on Dirty Harry, 1971. What do you think of the Dirty Harry movies? Oh, I don't know a cop that I worked with that didn't run out and buy a .44 Magnum. Me included. Oh, really? Yeah, just to look at it, and I said, my God, this thing weighs 40 pounds. I mean, I can't possibly carry this thing around. And you have it 2 weeks, you shoot it once or twice, your hand hurts, and you sell it. Yeah. Back then, there was no eBay. You just sold it to another cop. And he sold it to another cop, and so on and so forth. But, yeah, it had a great impact, but, he was made out to be sort of the anti-hero, and that was the first time that was done. Yeah. You want to be a success in this business, whether you're writing, making movies, making television, be the first on your block to do it. Yeah, he was like the first hard-nosed kind of cop there. 1971 is when it came out and had 4 sequels. Magnum Force was okay. Enforcer, not so much. Sudden Impact, not so much. And Deadpool, not so much. But Don Siegel, he was the one that directed it. Yeah, great. But the first one, I think the first one's a really good movie, though. Yeah, it was. And then, like everything else, goes downhill after that. Mm-hmm. All right. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh no, go ahead. Do you have something else about Dirty Harry? The best cop movie ever made. Mm-hmm. The Naked City, 1947. Barry Fitzgerald. You ever see it? I don't think so. See it. What? They shot every scene, interiors and exteriors, on the streets of New York. And that movie came first, and then there was a television series called The Naked City. Yeah, because when you said it right away, I thought, wasn't there a movie, The Naked Jungle, about a jewel heist gone wrong? Yeah, I don't know. But I'm just talking about it was just about cops trying to solve a homicide. Everything was shot in the city, black and white, directed by the name of Jules Dawson, who did Topkapi later about a jewel.
Another heist.
Get it off of Netflix. Really, really good. And the series ran for years and years. Also shot on the streets of New York, interiors and exteriors.
Yeah, I'll have to give that a whirl.
There was no sets at all.
Huh. Yeah, I never saw it.
Really good. That was the best cop movie ever made, I think.
Now, my father wanted me to ask you about Serpico because he's a big fan of the Frank Serpico. He like looks up to me, and he doesn't want to hear any bad news.
How long does your show run for?
We have about 15 minutes left.
Okay.
But
I know Frank. I know very well. The movie we're talking about the movie was excellent. I mean, how can you say Al Pacino did a bad job? I mean, does he do a bad job in anything? There was the
real quick, it came out in 1973, and Al Pacino played New York City police officer Frank Serpico, who went undercover to expose corruption of his fellow officers.
Well, that's what they, sort of.
And he got shot in the face, right?
Well, sort of.
All right.
The way the film depicted it was that he was uncovering corruption and testifying before various committees and going undercover and all this. And his own squad set him up to get killed. This is what you see in the film, and he gets shot in the face, and he's crying for help, and his partners, his backup won't help him. None of this ever happened. Frank was an odd guy. He's still around. He's 72 years old. Never a leader, always a follower. And when I met him, I was a young cop, and he had a couple of years on the job. Had an apartment in the Village, which back then was where, what they turned beatniks then, bohemians, people that were on the fringe, not your typical cop who was a very straight-laced, conservative, type of guy, went to high school, went into service. Everybody was the same, Irish for the most part. Serpico was an oddball, and I recall one specific incident. This was many years ago. We were young cops, and he was talking to me. He said, I don't understand why I can't get any girls. And I said, Frank, maybe it's the tarantula, the scorpion, and the boa constrictor you got running free in your house.
Really?
I mean, yeah. This guy had all kinds of exotic insects and pets, and very, very weird guy. The way he got involved in this corruption thing, he was pulled into it. A lieutenant by the name of David Dirk, who was a Harvard-educated cop. And back then, there were hardly any college-educated cops, let alone Harvard-educated cops. And Dirk had a high opinion of himself, and he didn't want to be police commissioner. He wanted to be mayor. And the way to do this, he figured, was to expose corruption. But this guy wasn't a street cop. He was an indoor guy. And he had to find somebody to lead the charge. And he got a hold of Frank, who was very easily led, and basically talked him into it. And that's how this thing started. Dirk led him all the way through this. Basically, I can't say forced him to do it, because you can't force anybody to do anything. But without David Dirk, none of this would have really happened. And on the day of the shooting, everybody knew who Serpico was. He was supplying information against corrupt cops. Back then, there were two types of corrupt cops: what is known as grass eaters and meat eaters. The grass eaters were the ones who shook down gamblers, hookers, things like that. The meat eaters were the ones who shook down drug dealers and worse. And back then, there weren't really many meat eaters, and if there were, they operated by themselves. The grass eaters would operate together. There were entire divisions that were crooked. They would allow the gamblers to have their operations, the hookers to do whatever they do. It was considered harmless corruption, which of course it wasn't. All corruption is bad. But this is what Frank Serpico exposed. So he was exposed as an undercover during the investigation. On the day of the shooting, they were hitting an apartment. Frank gets shot. Now the movie indicates that he was deserted by his team, and they just left him there to die. In reality, when he got shot, his team kicked in the apartment door, chased the shooter out the window, down to the street, and they arrested him, which is what you do when you're a cop.
Yeah.
But it didn't transpose that way onto film.
So he took some dramatic license.
Well, yeah, and he was made to be a huge hero. And To me, I have a very specific definition of a hero, and that's sacrificing yourself for the greater good of others. And I think left to his own devices, Serpico wouldn't have done what he did. Dirk was behind him all the way, which everybody knew, and Dirk really got thrown under the bus. His career was over because of all the self-promotion. Anyways, Serpico gets retired because of the shot. When he got shot in the face, he had problems with his ears and balance and all this. So he vanishes for a while. And then, for no reason, the word was the cops were after him. They forgot his name as soon as he was retired. No one really cared. He comes back, and I wind up introducing him to my then girlfriend's girlfriend.
Oh, no. All right.
Who he promptly knocks up, and then he fled to, I believe it was Sweden, to avoid child support payments.
Or is it Switzerland? Or
well,
Sweden?
Something that started with an S.
Yeah.
Okay, Switzerland. That sounds.
I think
good.
the movie says he's retired in Switzerland at the end of the movie.
What they indicated was he fled the country in fear of his life, and because he was idealistic and he didn't like the United States anymore. He was trying to beat child support payments.
Oh, no.
And they eventually grabbed him because he came back to visit somebody. I think he had relatives out on the island. And they grabbed him, and he wound up paying the child support. So he said, "What the hell? I'm not going back to Switzerland now. They got me." And he's been living in I think Brooklyn ever since. So
wow.
I'm not saying that he's a bad person, but he isn't the person that he was depicted to be on the screen. Right. And any cop that was on the job at that time is aware of this.
Well, if you listen carefully, you can almost hear my father weeping. Sorry, Dad. No,
I know cops that risked their lives undercover for years. I can throw out some names you wouldn't know, but Frank wasn't one of them.
Oh, that's sorry.
It was a hell of a movie, though. If that was
it was a good movie.
10 minutes ago, yeah,
great movie. Now we only got about 10 minutes left, and I know you wanted to talk a little bit about police books and the authors who. That you think don't exactly handle things properly when they're depicting police work.
Funny you should ask.
Yeah.
No, that's just a little pet peeve of mine. I guess because I was, I spent so many years in law enforcement, but also because I write now, and I tend to pick books apart. But what particularly annoys me is big-name authors who don't know what the hell they're talking about. And if it was you or me submitting a manuscript, they would eat us alive. This is wrong. They don't carry these type of guns. They don't do this and that. But when you see big authors making huge mistakes, nobody dares approach them. Now, I'll give you an example. The publisher for my first book was William Morrow, which is a pretty big publisher. And the editor, my editor for my first book, also was the editor for Lawrence Block, whom I think you've heard of, yes?
Yes.
For those of you who don't know who Lawrence Block is, he's probably the preeminent mystery novelist of our time. He's been in the business since 1950. He writes all kinds of series, but his primary series is the Matt Scudder series. It's about an alcoholic private eye. Very, very good. The guy, we as writers, we all emulate somebody, whether we do it consciously or subconsciously. I emulate Lawrence Block. I love the guy. But that doesn't mean he knows what he's doing when it comes to police work. So what I said was, I idolized this guy, and I still do. We had the same editor, so I said to my editor, I said, "Gee, this is great. I always wanted to meet him." And I said, "But his last book has so many mistakes in it." I said, I'd have to talk to him, so so when he does the next book, he'll straighten some of this stuff out. Some of this was egregious in his errors. It was really bad. So my editor looks at me, looks to the left and right like somebody's going to overhear us, and he says, No. You don't tell Larry Block anything. I said, "Well, wouldn't he want to know?" He said, No. He just got, a $2 million book deal. You don't tell him anything. I don't know. If I was Larry Block, I'd want to know. Jeffrey Deaver is another one who makes so many mistakes. And a guy who prides himself on being accurate. Wouldn't these guys want to know?
Ego is a funny thing,
in this business, you really should check your ego at the door for the sake of accuracy, I would think.
Yeah. Now, are there any writers that you particularly admire for getting it right?
John Sanford.
All right.
Writes the Lucas Davenport series. Probably the best use of police dialogue I've ever seen. This is how cops actually talk. Now, he was never a cop. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He's got an excellent ear for the way cops speak to each other. He gets a lot of flack about the amount of profanity in his stories.
Yeah, but
that's what cops do.
Yeah.
From police women, from the lowest cop to the police commissioner. And I'm not saying that they use it consistently, but it's a way of letting off steam. You know, and if you've never read any of Sanford's book, just his Lucas Davenport series. He writes two other series, or one other series, I think. A guy by the name of Flowers, Virgil Flowers. Those I don't read. But Lucas Davenport is an investigator for a police department in the Midwest. I think it's Minneapolis. And when I first started reading this, because it was highly recommended to me, I said, well, I want to read about a cop from Minneapolis. I'm a New York cop, you know. But we're very snobbish, Mike, you know. You want to read about New York cops, that's it. Everybody else is inferior, you know. Yeah. But I picked up his first book, and I never stopped reading him. He puts out one every May. And if you haven't read him, I highly recommend him.
Yes, say his name again for everybody.
John Sanford.
John Sanford.
And he writes the Lucas Davenport series. Very, very good.
Well, we're about out of time. We covered the TV shows, the movies, the books. Anything else left to tell the people?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
No, I'm about talked out.
Yeah. Another fine showing. Great stories about Serpico and Larry. We learned some new terms. Grass feeder, meat feeder.
Yeah.
Mike, is your father still going to talk to me now that I?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I'm his hero.
We'll have to see how he's doing after the show, but
all right,
I'll check in on him. But so Pat, thank you so much for joining us again. And once again, the website's pi-scribe.com is his writing website, and condorpi.com. And obviously, business is still good. You're out on a job, so
I am.
Condor PI, yeah. All right, Pat. Well, thank you very much, and hopefully we'll talk again soon. Can't wait.
Okay, thanks for having me. I had a good time.
Hey, thanks, Pat. There you go, Pat Picciarelli.
Bye-bye.
How about that, Larry? Pat Picciarelli.
Yeah, show favorite.
He's lived some life.
Yeah.
What have we done, you know?
Nothing. He's like the antithesis of me.
Although, to be fair, I have seen Starsky and Hutch.
Well, that is something.
Yeah, so I got him there.
You have seen a lot of TV shows that were 30 years before your time for some reason.
Yep.
And loved them. I don't understand. I don't understand how you don't have cops on a damn cops TV.
Well, because it's a reality show. It's not a written, acted, performed show.
Well, that wasn't part of the criteria. You said best cop TV shows.
And I said with the cop as the main character, so that kind of implied that a character is involved.
Huh. All right.
Gotcha.
Exact words, just like Greg Brady, huh? Exact words.
That's right. So, so we got to thank Pat Picciarelli, and we got to thank the Ed.
Yeah.
Because the Ed, he's always a wonderful guest.
There's no off switch on his Genius, right, Mike Dell?
No off position on his Genius switch.
Yeah.
And hopefully the Ed will be getting a job soon at 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh, so he can talk.
I don't know if that'll happen, but maybe Jim Bob will get a gig over there.
Yeah, I don't think so. And once again, we got to thank Alexander Ovechkin for losing another big game. Thanks, buddy.
There you go.
Hey, the tops. And congratulations to Team Canada. And what else, Larry? What else we got to say?
Nothing.
Yeah. Next week we'll be back, and I think next week, if all goes well, keep your fingers crossed, our pal Dave Damashek will return for a return performance.
All right. Well, don't tell the Ed.
Yeah, we're not going to have the Ed on. It's just going to be me, you, and the Dave. And we're going to talk hockey and movies and TV and that kind of stuff. And then maybe if there's time, we'll let the Ed come on at the end or something. But
all right, yeah, because I want to know what it's like to hang out with Don Draper.
Yeah,
I want to see
Don Draper.
If the Dave will give me $1,000, and I'm going to see if I can get him to say the F word.
So we got some goals to accomplish.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have goals. All right, so that's next week. So there you go, Larry, wrap it up.
That's it. It's wrapped up. I guess we'll be back next Wednesday, like Mike Dell said, with the Dave, hopefully, and which means Cousin Brandon will probably call, and
Yeah, that's right. Cousin Brandon might call, yeah.
Yeah, of course he will. That's the only thing, Hey, your Cousin Dave's on. Yeah, I want to come on the show tonight.
And by the way, don't forget to visit Cousin Brandon over at his blog there, cousinbrandon.wordpress.com, because he put up another edition of the Angry Alphabet, the letter E for Elmo.
Elmo.
That was very funny. I don't know if you read it. It was very funny.
Yeah, Elmo is he is grating on the nerves. I agree. All right, I don't know. I got nothing else. Hey, Mike Dell, good luck tonight playing your Hartford Whalers against the Quebec Nordiques.
Yeah, well, just even hearing that hurts me because Quebec's my favorite team, but anyway.
Yeah, but hey, they were taken.
Yeah.
So good luck with that, and all right, next Wednesday we'll be back. Go to LCS, buy Honest John Churchfield if you want. If not, don't. It's up to you. How's that for a ringing endorsement, Mike Dell?
Loved it.
All right, that's it. Next Wednesday. Until then, pass the gin. Come on.